it. Good Shabbos to those that are logging off.
Happy Shabbos.
Okay. Shabbos. Shua Marchuk, welcome back. We have one of the most famous dafim in Shas, L'Kovid you. No, really. This is, you're muted. What happened to him? Did he just knock himself off?
Did we just finish here?
No, we do Musser. We started doing Musser for 2 minutes.
No. No, I know that. I didn't realize that was the Musser segment. Okay, good.
No, but now we have one of the most famous Gemaras in Shas today.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
Yes, we do. Legit for you.
Well, I'm glad to come back.
Today. Once I did the daf already today. Is Maskim is one of the most famous Gemaras in Shas?
Yeah.
Not just me making it up. Okay.
Yeah, so we haven't said it in the last week to 10 days. We haven't.
Correct. That's true. We have not said it. We have not.
Well,
said
you're
it.
waiting for me to get back to the country. Okay, Shkai.
I would like to use a purim. We're not gonna, you know what I mean? We're not gonna do anything with once you're back. That's it. That's what we're waiting for.
Okay, good. Shkai.
Okay, so Zok the Mishna. Yeah, Misha loichag, the Yom Tov Harishon Shachag. So if somebody does not bring the Korban Chagigah on the first day of Sukkos, Chagig is Kol HaRegel, the Yom Tov Achron Shachag. He could be Chagig the entire Yom Tov and Shmini Atzeres too. Shmini Atzeres being a Chiddush, because as we know, Shmini Atzeres is really a Regel B'fnei Atzma. So that should be, you should not be able to bring the Korban on Shmini Atzeres. But no, you are allowed to bring it. Yeah. The thing is like this. That's where you get into the whole diyun. If Shmini Atzeres by night, instead of saying Shmini Chag Atzeres Hazeh, you say Chag Sukkos Hazeh. Do you repeat the Shemana Esrei? Right? Because is it a new Yom Tov? It's not a new Yom Tov. The Yochai from here, you should be able to. You don't have to repeat it. Right, because it's still Sukkos for tashlumin. Certainly the Chassidim who don't say Tachna for a week after Shavuos certainly should have to say that you're going to be yotzei with Chag Sukkos Hazeh, right? Because the tashlumin works. But okay, not necessarily. Those are one of those shalas where the place can say that there's no consensus on that. Okay, whatever it is, but you're allowed to bring it even on Shmini Atzeres.
Is there consensus? If someone misses Mincha in Shana Rabbah and he davens 2 Ma'ariv Shmini Atzeres, what is he supposed to say in Kedushas Hayoim? Sukkos or Shmini Atzeres?
Well, because he's missed Mincha.
Yeah.
What are we going to say then? Because
he could say Sukkos, so why not?
I don't know what the answer is. That's a good one. All these guys that are never doing things right make these complicated shilas. Okay, no, but fine. Like parrots
they just don't give a damn.
Parrots, I'm not going to know what you're talking about a little later on them.
Okay. I thought Parrots was about to say about me. Obviously, you can
reminds me much of Shabbos. When we have time, I'll tell you the story. We'll David call me.
Yeah, Parrots just had a great story. But anyways, okay. So again, you have the whole Yom Tov and Shmini Atzeres. Over our Regel V'Loichag, right? If the Regel passed and you did not bring the Korban Chagigah, and you're not chayiv in the achrayis, which I found to be a very interesting term. You're not chayiv in the achrayis, right? Mashma, like you didn't do anything wrong, right? But it sounds like you're not chayiv doing that. But I mean, you're not chayiv. You messed up a mitzvah d'oraisa, right? Which the next line says, it's something that's an aveira that can never be fixed. And it's something lacking that can never be counted. That's the literal translation, right? That's a pasuk in Kehelis, right? So meaning it's never coming back. This opportunity to do the Korban Chagigah on that Yom Tiv is never coming back, and it's lost forever. That's basically what the Gemara is saying. So the first line is mashma, it's not so bad. The second line is mashma, it's pretty bad. Okay, Reb Shimon menasya aimer, eizem uva she'enu yochai liskoin. What is an aveira that you can't fix? That's somebody who's ba'al erva, somebody he's not allowed to be with, and he ends up having a mamzer. Right now, that mamzer is not. You can't put the mamzer in a washing machine and make it not a mamzer or a mikveh. Right? Once a mamzer, always a mamzer. says im time, and if you're going to say begoine begoizel by stealing, so Gemara answers the Mishna says no, you can fix when you steal. Granted, it's aveira, it's not coming back, but you can give back the gneva gezeira, and then you fix, then your aveira is gone, right? A mamzer, you can't do that. Shimon says, you can't say something is made bad unless it was first good and then it became bad. Meaning somebody who wasn't necessarily good can't be called something bad. Meaning a mamzer was never good to call it that he messed up. He was from birth. He was messed up. He was anything good about him. Then he messed up. So it can't be that that's what the pasuk's going on. So who is something that's a ma'ubis that can't be fixed? It's a Talmud Chacham haparish min Torah. It's a Talmud Chacham who stops learning Torah. Because once he's a Talmud Chacham, so now he's considered fixed. And then when he stops learning Torah, then that's messing something up that was fixed. Yeah, so those are the three ways of understanding the pasuk ma'ubis al yichalistim. Okay, so we know immediately. How do we know that you're allowed to bring it even shmini atzeres? It says on the seventh day of Pesach Atzeres. And it says Atzeres on the eighth day of Chag. So just like there on Pesach you have 7 days, so too on Sukkos you have till Atzeres. And what's Atzeres? It says the eighth day, meaning it's basically we're comparing the last day of Pesach to the last day of Sukkos because it's called Atzeres. So the Gemara says Mufna. Now that gezeira shava is available. So now you have different gezeira shavas where you could just have different rooms, different words that you just compare. It says the same word in this parsha and the same word in this parsha. So we compare them. As long as you have the word that's extra, so then it's a gezeira shava mufna. Mufna from the word pnuya means it's available. Meaning the word is so extra that it has to be that it's there for the gezeira shava. So we're saying that this one is also. The because if it wasn't available, the seventh day of Pesach is not a separate Yom Tiv. Shmini Atzeres is a different Yom Tiv. So how can you compare the two? So then it says, it must be it's available, and therefore you can't ask kashas on it. How do you know that word Atzeres is available, meaning it's extra? My Atzeres, because what's Atzeres? Otzur basiyas malacha. It means the word Atzeres means stop doing malacha. But a haksiv l'sasim malacha, it says don't do malacha on the seventh day already. Why does that have to say Atzeres? Because again, the word Atzeres means don't do malacha. The pasuk says already don't do malacha. So why are you calling it Atzeres? So Atzeres, the kasav Rahman Allah. Why do you need to say the word Atzeres? So therefore it comes to teach us that it's single, it's available, and therefore it's an extra word, and it's a gezeira shava, and you can't ask any kashas on it. Since it's a mufna gezeira shava, there's no kashas to be asked. Fine. So that's the first way we learn it out, that this tashlumin even on shmini atzeres from the extra word atzeres. The Tanna has a different way to learn it out, that you're allowed to bring Korbanos for Sukkos even on Shmini Atzeres. Tanya v'chagos ma'asechag l'Hashem shivas yomim. It says bring a Chagigah 7 days. Yochai v'hoylach kol shiva. So you would think that you bring the Chagigah all 7 days. Tamei oisai at the Chagigah v'at the Chagigah kol shiva. You're supposed to bring the carbon Chagigah on the first day, and not all 7 days. Sim kain lama nemar shivas. And why are you saying 7 days? The tashlumin means for tashlumin, meaning lechatchila, bring it on the first day. Not even lechatchila, lahalacha, bring it on the first day. But if for some reason you couldn't bring it on the first day, then you bring it all the next 6 days, and really 7 days. How do you know that you can bring it the whole regal if you missed on the first day? And shmini atzeres. On the 7th day, you should have a chag. Right now, it says in that pasuk also in the 7th month. So you would think that so I could bring the korban the entire month of Tishrei. It says chodesh hashvi. So Tamei oisai, it says in it oisai at the chagig only in the days of Sukkos and in the 8th day and there's no bringing any korbanos after that. Okay, so that's it. So those are the two ways to learn it. Either from the extra word Atzeres or from oisai. So then the Gemara says, "My tashlumin." We had this Gemara way back in Beis Aleph. My tashlumin. What is tashlumin? Tashlumin the rishon. It's tashlumin for the first day. Meaning, if the person is chayav on the first day, so then and he for whatever reason didn't bring it, so then you have the next 7 days to bring it. Rabbi Ishia Amar tashlumin zelazeh. No, he says even if a person was right. Well, we're going to see the Gemara. We'll see the Gemara in a second. It's tashlumin each day for each day. Meaning, it's not just for the first day. It's for the later days too. My ben, yeah.
So a Tzala fellow who misses shayfa, who miss whatever. So do they have to have tashlumin?
Oh, so you're talking about, let's say, for davening?
I'm saying it should be Isaac ben mitzvah potem in a mitzvah.
Yeah, so he is.
Yeah, he doesn't have to daven again.
He does not have to daven again because he's what do you call pashtus? Is he done? No, he's a einus. He's not einus. I'm sorry. He's potter.
I'm saying he wasn't chayiv because he was Isaac ben mitzvah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. He's
Okay,
potter,
fine.
100%. No, I'll tell you where it comes up because let's say a guy's taking care of his kids and he can't make it to shul. He's babysitting his kids. I know you don't like he's babysitting his own kids, right? But he's watching his kids, right? And he and for whatever reason he forgets to daven mincha. So now, was he potter? Pashta says he was potter. He was Isaac ben mitzvah, right?
Okay.
So l'chayra he's potter, but it's hard to say that. It's hard to say that. In these situations, we're going to say make a tefillas nedava, but it's a question whether you can do it in the tashlumin as a nedava. But really, you can. So that's basically what we say. Anyway, so my binay, what's the difference in these two opinions? Meaning whether tashlumin is for the first day or tashlumin is for every day. So somebody who was lame on the first day, right? Which means he was not roy, he was potter, and then he became better on the second day, right? It's tashlumin for the first day. Since he is not chazi on the first day, he's not chazi on the second day. Meaning, once he was out on the first day and he was potter, so then that's it. He's potter. For Rabbi Shimon says no. Tashlumin zalazet, tashlumin for each day. Avagad the loy chazi b'rishon. Since he wasn't, even though he was not roy on the first day because he was lame chazi b'sheni. So then, but on the second day he is going to be roy. So therefore, there would be tashlumin for him. Meaning exactly what you're saying. Is if he's totally potter on the first day, so according to Rabbi Yochanan, he's potter from all 7 days. That's it. He was potter the first. That's it. Rabbi Shi says no. If he was potter the first day, chayav on the second day, then he has to bring it on the second day. And if he doesn't, then he has the next 5 days to bring it, 6 days to bring it. Yeah, fine. Now
it's an interesting nafkamina though.
Why?
Because it changes the chiyuv itself. Not the tashlumin, the chiyuv of the carbon. It turns out that it's a chiyuv ayoy. Somehow, this nafkamina in the chiyuv tashlumin changes the ikr chiyuv carbon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Why would it do that?
Well, I think the whole thing comes from who the ikr chiyuv of the carbon. Then that's then the fallout from that is whether there's tashlumin.
So so either way, then the Machlokes is a shtickle interesting Machlokes. It's really Machlokes about what the Ikr is.
Right, 100%. Yeah. So then the Gemara asks. Now we get into some tumah and taro. Did Rabbi Yochanan really say this? That it's only tashlumin to the first day and that's it. Now this is talking about a Nazir. So basically, a Nazir is not allowed to become tamei. When a Nazir is 30 days. So for those 30 days, he cannot become tamei. Let's say he did become tamei, so he has to wait 7 clean days, and then he has to start his Naziris again. That's the way it goes. So let's say he waited 7 clean days, then he's supposed to bring a carbon after that. But he didn't bring a carbon, then he became tamei again on the 8th day. So does he have to bring 2 korbanos or 1 long carbon? Meaning, I should have said this step first. Let's say he becomes tamei mace. Then on the 3rd day of the 7 clean days from tamei mace, he becomes tamei mace again. So now, does he need to bring two separate korbanos because he was tamei mace twice, or he just only bring one? So there it's pashut, he only has to bring one because there was one big tumah. But here it went to the 8th day. The 8th day he was ba'atzim tar. He just didn't bring his korban yet. Then he became tamei, right? So does he have to bring two? So that, according to all opinions, is that he has to bring two different korbanos because he had a shas heter. But what happens if it happened at night? We don't bring korbanos at night. So if he became tamei on the night after the 7th, going into the 8th day, does he have to bring korbanos or not? So maybe he has to bring two korbanos, not one. But Laila, but if he became tamei Laila, maybe he doesn't have to bring it. Why? Because he was never in a time where he was supposed to bring a korban, because we don't bring korbanos at night. Rav Yochanan says, maybe even at night he brings, because his 7 days was over, 17 days was over. So you see that according to Rav Yochanan, once he has to be right. Once he's right, then that's it. He's in, right? So it should be the same thing here. By that by the chigur, the person who can't walk, yeah, meaning he's still in the chiyuv. He just was potter on the first day, so it's a kasha of Yochanan. So the tumah is a whole different din. Tumah, we see that you get a second chance by tumah. Tumah, you get to go Pesach Sheni, right? So therefore, even though here this has nothing to do with Pesach Sheni here, but we see that by tumah, you have another opportunity to bring another korban. So that's why by tumah, Rabbi Yochanan would say he brings two korbanos, because once he was out of the clean days, he was ready to bring it. But by regular, any other halachas, Rabbi Yochanan is going to say no, he had to have been roy. If he's not roy at the time that he was supposed to be roy, then he doesn't have to bring the korban. Yeah. So maskul rapapa hani chalamandam Pesach Sheni now on tamei base. Pesach Sheni tashlumin derishon. That's all. Pesach Sheni is considered tashlumin derishon, right? Meaning if you had a chiyuv during the first Pesach, so then the Pesach Sheni covers you. But according to Mandam, it says regal that Pesach Sheni is its own independent Yom Tov, right? So then, Ma'ikal Meimer, what are you going to say then? How could you say that Pesach Sheni is considered a second opportunity for anybody on the first Pesach? Now, first of all, what's an nafkamina between this Machlokes, or whether Pesach Sheni is a Yom Tov Shnei Atzmai? Somebody who becomes a ger between Pesach Rishon and Pesach Sheni, right? According to the one that says that it's its own Yom Tov, so then it's a new Yom Tov. He's a Yid now, it's a new Yom Tov. He brings Pesach Sheni. He never brought the Korban Pesach before he brings Pesach Sheni. But if you hold that Pesach Sheni is tashlumin derishon, well, he wasn't a Yid on the first Pesach. So since he wasn't a Yid on the first Pesach, he doesn't have to bring it on the second Pesach either. Right? But whatever it is, so you see, according to that Mandamar, it's a regular Yom Tov. It's not considered a tashlumin, so how could you compare it? So now the Gemara changes its mind. Rav Yochanan knows that Laila is not considered mechusar zman, meaning Laila really is a time that you're considered right to be makriv korbanos. It's just we're not makriv korbanos at night, so therefore, there's a technical reason why you can't bring the korban. But really, he was right to bring the korban, so therefore he becomes tamei again. Then he has to wait. Then he has to wait another 7 days, which he has to do either way. But he has to bring a second korban.
What about a bar mitzvah boy?
The what? I mean, if it becomes bar mitzvah, yeah, 100% right. That's a good example, right? L'chayra, right? A bar mitzvah, right? A bar mitzvah boy would not have to. It depends on which shita.
Well, the difference is a goy is not allowed to eat the korban pesach, but a bar mitzvah boy, is he allowed to eat with his chabura before his bar mitzvah, and then after his bar mitzvah in between might be different, no?
Yeah, because you're saying al tzchinuch he was chayiv.
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you.
Huh?
I don't know.
I thought Avi was saying that a pre-bar mitzvah boy is allowed to eat. You can't shecht for him. He's allowed to eat from the korban pesach. A goy is not allowed to even eat. He's nothing. So Pesach Sheni might be different. There's enough kamina there.
Yeah, okay, but don't you get into the whole Sphira thing with this too? Same thing with the Sphira Shaila. The boy becomes bar mitzvah. Right, that's your classic bar mitzvah speech during Sphira, no?
That has an addition.
Can a guy
That's the
count
Shiloh.
Sphira?
What are you saying?
Can a guy count Sphira?
Can a guy count Sphira?
Meaning, like, if a guy's getting
Why would
ready
he want to?
convert, leading up to it, you know, he may start already, knowing that somewhere in the middle he may convert.
I don't know. I don't know, Taka. What does a ger do? I think we say Lamaisa push comes to shove. We say it's okay. No, no.
Well,
That they
David, he
do
wants to
make the
go
book.
on the Lag Baimer trip.
Oh, that means you
He
only
could go on the trip without counting. He doesn't have to count.
Our mitzvah
Maybe
trip
he
is
has
during the day.
I mean, maybe the Rebbe, who's the bus manager, is a stickler, and he asks the guys what day it is in the Sphira, you know.
Yeah. What day of Lag Baimer is today, huh? Anyway. What color is George Washington's white horse?
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. So okay, so fine. So let's see. Me or Rabbi Yochanan, does Rabbi Yochanan say that Lila's not Zman? Now again, we have the case of Zav and Zava, right? So or either one, it's the same din. But so a Zav is a man that has what do you call it, gonorrhea, right? Some sort of thing. So the first one he sees is no problem. If he sees twice, he becomes tamei. And then he becomes three. If he says and he needs to bring korban, if he sees 3 times, he needs to wait 7 clean days. So let's say he waited 7 clean days, then he started seeing again. Right, so normally he waits 7 clean days, goes to the mikvah, and on the 8th day he brings a korban. Right. So let's say he started seeing at night, once at night, 2 during the day, 2 at night, 1 during the day. So it's going to make a difference. So let's say he sees 1 at night, and then 2 during the day, maybe then he has to bring 2 different korbanos because during the day he was already roy because after seeing once he's not tamei. I mean he's tamei carry, he's not tumah zav. So he is already roy to bring the korban. And now it's a new tumah, it needs 2 korbanos. But shtayim b'layla v'achas b'yayim, then maybe he doesn't bring an extra korban because he was never in the time that it's mutter. And this is Rabbi Yochanan saying it. But didn't we just say that Rabbi Yochanan says that Laila we don't care, it's not a mechutzer zman? Right, maybe even 2 at night and 1 during the day he has to bring. So more answers. Rabbi Yochanan himself doesn't hold of Laila's mechusas man. He's saying his din according to the one that says that night is mechusas man. So Gemara says, the one who says that it's mechusas man, of course it's pashut. Right? It's pashut. What's Rabbi Yochanan saying a chiddush? So no, you need it for the case where he sees it twice during the day and once at night. So you would think it's because of the kasha of Shisha Breda Ravidi asked, and it's interesting that the Gemara does not bring the kasha, right? But the Gemara just says maybe it would be like the kasha of Rav Shisha Breda Ravidi, who says that it shouldn't make a difference whether it's two at night, 1 during the day, or 1 at night, 2 during the day. Says it doesn't make a difference, right? Because the first 3 is a keri ba'alma, and then when he sees 2, it should all be combined, whatever the kasha is. So you would think that maybe we go with his kasha, kamash v'lan k'd Rabbi Yosef. So we learn from this that it's like Rabbi Yosef, right? That it's not true. We don't go with the kasha of Shisha Breda Rav Idi. Okay, so now that was the hard part of the daf. So let's see. Now we start with the Geshmaka part. Then of course it's a Friday, so there's not enough time to handle it. So aveira regel v'loy chag, if the regel passed and he didn't bring a korban, he's not chayiv in the achrayis. It's an aveira that's never going to be able to be fixed, and it's never coming back. So that's the first fascinating part of this. So Bar Hey said to Hillel. Yeah. So first of all, what is Bar Hey? So Taisus, a very interesting Taisus. Third Taisus up from the bottom.
Song of the
It
day.
might be the song of the daf too.
Yeah, song of the daf.
Yeah, right. So I guess so, right? There is a song, Bar Hey.
Well, there's a song, hey, 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 hey.
No, not that song, Aaron.
1 second. There's another. But
If that came from anyone else, it wouldn't be as entertaining.
Then there's also Ben Bagbag, which is coming up in Taisus. Look at the third Taisus. He says, what's hey? Fascinating. I believe it's fascinating. Yesh mefarshim sheger haya. Some say that he was a ger. V'hainu ben Avraham v'Sara, who both had hays added to their name. Shani Taisef hey b'shman. So since they added a hey in their name, so therefore that's why they called him Bar Hey, right? Which quite an interesting way to call a fellow. Hey, Bar Hey, whatever. Bar Hey. Right?
Maybe this is a riot. Tosfos also learned Daf Yomi. He sent it over, and when we came out in order, maybe the same way.
Oh.
I thought you're not supposed to remind a ger that he's a ger.
Right, so that's the thing. So I guess I had that kasha. I was wondering, it's no different than saying he's Ben Avram, right? You call him up as Ben Avram. But then the next part of the Tosfos, please, if somebody, maybe I'm just, yeah.
Could be it's meant as a Rebbe did it as a chizuk for us. That even a ger can reach a Tanna status. He tries hard enough.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, so now
Not out reminding the ger.
Yeah. No, I hear that. Now the next part I mamish didn't get.
How do you know he's a Tanna?
Until you chop that it's.
Hello. How do you know he's a Tanna?
How do you know he's a Tanna?
Yeah.
The name brought in a brisa is generally.
He's also saying
Tanna.
it's a hill. He's talking to Hill.
Yeah.
Oh, he's talking to Hill. Okay. Okay, so he's talking to Hill.
I'm sorry.
It's not like the Misa.
Maybe he was a balabas. You say maybe he's a balabas. How do you know he was a Rav?
Then he wouldn't be named.
They don't call him Rav, but they didn't call Hill Rav either. So he's not Rav. He's not Rav Hill. Right?
I think the general rule is any name in a Mishna and a Brisa is a Tanna. If the name is brought.
Okay, whatever it is. Then the next line, which you mamish can't understand without the Maseres Hashas. I mamish thought v'chein bag, right? The kula hagemara oila hey. What does that mean? So I have no idea what this meant. And Maseres Hashas says doesn't say the kula hagemara. The kula hagematria is hey. Beis Gimel, right? 2 and 3. I think even we could all do that much math, right? 2 and 3 is hey. So Ben Bagbag was also a ger, and they called him, instead of calling him Bar Hey, they called him Ben Bagbag. Beis Gimel, Ben Beis Gimel. Maybe doctor, maybe that's why they want to do like a hidden thing. They didn't want to say it's so befeirish that it's Bar Hey, so they did Ben Bagbag.
It all adds up.
Very good. Anyways, okay, so so there you go. You have your Tosfos of the daf and your Gemara of the daf. Fine. So now, so back in the Gemara. Someone like Bar Hey Lahil. So Bar Hey said to Hill, Hi Lahimonis. Lahimonis means to count. Lahimalos mi ba'ilei. When you're saying that it's something that's missing, so that should be filled up. When you're saying it's something that you missed and you'll never be able to fill it up, not that you'll be able to count. No, what is something where your friends try to count you for a mitzvah and you don't get counted with them. What does this mean? Tanya mehachi movas lo yuchaliskan zeh shapitu kriyishma shel shachris, like kriyishma shel arvis, and mivato kriyishma of shachris or arvis in Yonah Diyayim, because a lot of places had off Shabbos today, so there was a lot of unfortunately bittul kriyishma, bittul right the thing whatever President's Day weekend. A lot of yeshivas are off. Yeah, I should bittul tefillah shel shachris, or you mivato the whole shachris like tefillah shel arvis. The chesron liyuchal iman is zeh shenimnu chaveira l'dvar mitzvah. It's that the friends count them with Bar Mitzvah, and he didn't get counted with them. So fine. Now, because we started with Bar Hey, so we do another thing for Bar Hey, right? Which is quite interesting because he probably got the most famous Gemara about Limud HaTorah that every mashkiach loves to say over and no bachram listen to, not even for a second, right? So Amar Le Bar Hey L'Hil. Right, so Bar Hey said L'Hil. Right? Also, that's a pasuk in Nach and Malachi, right? And you should return and see what the difference is between a tzaddik and a rasha, between somebody who's an aveira Elokim and somebody who's not an aveira Elokim. Hainu tzaddik, hainu aveira means what do we need two lashonos here? Hainu tzaddik, hainu aveira Elokim. Somebody who's a tzaddik is obviously an aveira Elokim. Hainu rasha, hainu asher lo yavadu. And somebody who's a rasha is obviously not an aveira Elokim. So Amalei Abdai Veloy Abdai Tavayu Tzadiki Gemurim. An Eved and not an Eved, they're both considered Tzadukim Gemurim. Beina Daim Shayna Pirka Meya Pavim L'Shayna Pirka Meya Ba'echad. You can't compare somebody who learned his Gemara 100 times to somebody who learned his Gemara 101 times.
Yeah, it's a famous Gemara.
Yeah, it's a famous Gemara. I'm glad you're masking. Right? There's no difference between somebody who's 100 and 100 I mean, there's a major difference. 100 and 101. So Gemara says, and for one time, it's called Laya Vadai. So Amalei in. Yes. Now, I don't get this because I think this mashal does not apply nowadays. Amalei in. Say, go out and learn from Uber, the equivalent of Uber. But you can't say Uber because Uber doesn't work like this. Right? From a shuk shel chamarin, from the drivers. Right? Chamar drivers. Asar parsi bezuzah. If you take them for 10 parsas, they charge you a zuz. Chados a parsi for 11 parsas, it's trey zuzi, meaning it's only one more parsa, but they're going to charge you double. So you see that when you go from 100 to 101,
10 minutes.
it's
Why?
way more. Right?
When
so
you go
nowadays,
go across 878, they double the fare.
That's true. That is true, but that's only because it's a city thing. Right? But normally, the further you take it, the cheaper it gets per right? I think. Anyway, so okay, but whatever. Its point is the harder.
I understand. If you would go 11 parses, it's. I'm saying maybe it's a certain mark. You go over 10, and from 10 to 20, it's two zuz.
No, it's saying for even just 11.
That is what it is.
It's double.
Yeah, but that would include that even going one more parsa is going to cost you double.
Right, but
It's going to count for the next 808 parses also.
If he goes another 10, I wasn't sure. If he goes another 10, it's the same one.
Yeah, it goes by 10.
Another 9.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. Even so, but David,
So then there's
same
no
thing,
difference
same
between
muscle.
doing it 101 and 102 times.
right. So then Naftali is saying that means there's no difference between 101 and 102.
Naftali, go test it.
Right, exactly. Let us know when you learn the 102. Exactly.
Yeah, that's right. I would be happy if we would just learn it 2 times.
Right.
But
This is the famous Meister with the Vilna going. They asked him, what's the difference between him and officially it was the Vilna going. It never happened, but whatever. This is what they say. They asked him, what's the difference between you and the Rav from the next town? Who went to the same Rabbi, whatever, and he's just him. You're the Vilna going. How did it happen? He said, we both learned the same Gemara, this line. He believed Chazal, I didn't.
I hear.
That's the Eine Daima.
Okay, there you go. Now, there's gematrias here, right? I know that there's a gematria. I'm not remembering it now with 100, 101.
I remember hearing that the Malach Machal is gematria 101. He's Mamana al Shekha.
Oh, that's the one you're referring to, Rafe. That's what you're referring. No, there's something. Yeah, okay, very good. No, it's Avdoi and Loyach. I can't believe I'm not remembering it now. Okay, I'll have to try and remember it over Shabbos. I think between Eved Elikim.
He brings it in art scroll. He brings it in art scroll.
Loy Avdoi is 101.
Yeah. Oh, the initial letter
Avdoi is 100. Loy Avdoi is 101.
So then why is that? So it should be the opposite.
Well, Eine Daima le Avdoi le Loy Avdoi. I don't know. I'm just saying. Figured it out. I didn't see the.
What does it say in the art scroll? What does it say in the art scroll?
The initial letters of the words Oved Elokim La'asher have a total value of 101, whereas the initial letters of the words Lo Avodo amount to 100.
Oh, so that's okay. That makes sense. Okay, there you go.
That's from the Marsha.
There you go. There you go. Okay, very good. And then I noticed a Chassam Sofer also that says 30 days. I have to remember that. Okay, it's late. So let's just see about it. Bottom line is, if you don't, you got to chazer a lot. I'm saying we complain. Like when I was a kid, I learned Chagigah a lot. I learned it for whatever reason. It was my first masech I made a seam on, so I did it a lot. Even now, and I mamish haven't unfortunately looked at it in 35 years, but I probably learned it 20 times, maybe, I don't know, maybe less. It's still epis. And we complain that, I don't remember my learning. You don't remember, you learned it once, twice, the daf. What do you expect? What do we expect? Right? I'm saying the Gemara is talking about 100 and 101. Can you imagine getting to that? Whatever. I had some yeshiva guys over Matzah Shabbos for Malav Malka. They start ranking out the Daf Yomi. Yeah, it's so fast. It's so this. I said, okay, let me ask you a question. You're 4 months into the winters, man, right? Have you chazer anything from the first month? Are you going to chazer anything from the first month? So you're going to forget it, right? Just like us from the daf. We're all forgetting, so we might as well do whatever you want. What do you think you're any better? You're the same forgetful that we are. I'm not so sure I want any friends with that. But anyways, okay. So Eliyahu told Bar Hey. Now this Rabbar, this is pretty choshev too. That this Bar Hey has got Eliyahu. He's talking to Hillel, and he's taking some pretty. If he's not a Tanna, he's giving some pretty choshev of friends. A Gvir he must have been then, Zicher. Right? Okay. So Amalei Eliyahu Bar Hey. Amalei Rebbe Lazar. My desiv. Bami Lo Rebbe Lazar. Some say he said it to Rebbe Lazar. My desiv. Now this is also a wild Gemara. It's not so famous, but it's a wild Gemara. Hine. Right? He says, I'm going to tiraftim, from Tzorfim, Hatzorfim, the silver company. You make fine silver, right? But not with silver, but not with, you do it with fire, meaning you're doing the metal, but not with silver. And I've chosen you as like a kur of ani. A pot of anias. He went to look at all the good midas to give to Klal Yisrael, and the only midah he found to give to Klal Yisrael is anias. Okay, so Omar Shmuel v'yitem Rav Yosef Hainu Dam Reinchi Yoah Niyusa liyudai, being a ani to a yid is nice enough. Keep barza sumka l'susi chivara, to like a red strap to a white horse. When you see the white, you can see the red. You can see if you put a red strap on a white horse, you can see it very well. So being an ani, a Yiddish ani is mamish the highest level, right? So what does that mean? We say ani chashuv kameis, right? So obviously you have to say that there's different levels of anias, right? It must mean not to have too much money, right? That's what it is, right? The Chavetz Chaim supposedly gave people brachas. Even don't become wealthy, because that's the best midah to give. Okay, whatever
is that what it means?
All right, we'll stop here. So everybody should have a good Shabbos, and collect your vertelach on the 100 and 101 over Shabbos. Maybe we should have a chabura. Yeah. All right.
Good Shabbos.
What time is
Shabbos?
8:20.
What time is Shabbos afternoon?
4:10.
Shabbos.
What's this thing I sent you?
Shabbos.
Did you see the pictures I sent you?
Yes. You think? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, I'm sorry to bother you.
You think should I give you a list of the shilas that are going on now? People surgery,
right, okay,
people
fine.
stuff.
Okay, fine.
Forget. Okay. Worry about your tzitzis.
I'll ask you on Shabbos. Okay. I want to ask you on Shabbos about the task. Okay,
you deserve it. I'm not saying you don't deserve it, but I'm going to get
I know.
to it.
No. I put my old pair on.
Why? I just put on a new pair and finish, man. All right.
No, I'll come to you once you go. Yeah. I should wait for Shabbos, and that's it when the phone's off. Okay. Have a good Shabbos.
Shabbos. All right.
Tzvi Yaakov.
Yes.
I don't think this Gemara has anything to do with wealth. It's midas aniyas. Even wealthy people can have midas aniyas.
I like that shot.
That's why it's a midah tova. The biggest midah tova you can have is midas aniyas. It's all from the Eibishter. It's not mine.
I hear you. You gotta love this text.
Yes.
You have to love this text. How do I
recording, by the way.
How do I get divorced?
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean, Tiago? Very simple. Tell him $399 along the roadway. There's big signs.
It's from a man or a woman?
Man.